right?
Just going live. Yeah, you can start.
All right, so welcome everyone. A very good morning. So welcome to the Design Nuances Edu series. I hope you're able to see my screen. So
Yes.
We started the Design Nuances Edu series with the three main objectives in focus. First is to learn the nuances of a new topic specific to design, architecture, or fashion. Second is to get introduced to a new school and understand their purpose. Because in the future, at one point of time, you'll have to make a decision of choosing a school. The more knowledge that you gain about a school, the better informed you will be, and it becomes easier for the parents and students to make the decision. And also to facilitate an opportunity to interact with an expert and absorb the knowledge that they share, right? And we have had very good sessions in the past, and today we have our international guest. So we are waiting for it, and it's going to be very, very exciting. So a few protocols to be followed in this webinar. So 15 minutes is allocated for the school. Today it is Jindal. So they will talk about their school, and followed by a 40-minute discussion or the presentation by the guest speaker about the topic, and followed by 20 minutes question and answers. So kindly follow these instructions. Keep your microphone on mute. Comments and answers to the questions in the chat, please use the chat effectively. And switch your webcams on so that we all can see, and probably we'll take a selfie, a video selfie of all of us, right? If you want to unmute and ask your question, so you may raise your hand so that we know that you have a question, and we'll unmute you, okay? And please kindly keep your question brief to the point, okay? So today we have Jindal School of Art and Architecture, and they will be talking about a specific topic, what is BIM in architecture, all right? So our special international guest speaker is Dr. Kiljae. Kiljae believes that architecture is the field where the use of new technologies and applying to the real world should be studied together. He aims to study the application, methods of architectural design and construction through a combination of ICT technologies such as 3D scan, rapid prototyping, and drone. So he obtained a PhD from the Tokyo Institute of Technology. Doctor thesis is about the urban green composition of the metropolitan area in Tokyo, Japan, for the architectural scale to the urban scale using direct sensing to remote sensing. He has taught the Graduate School of Techno Design, Kookmin University, South Korea, as assistant professor prior to JGU. Right. His interests range from the architectural design to urban design networks, sustainable technologies, and architectural ICT applications. He enjoys finding new ideas and research themes in actively using IT gadgets in his daily life. Right. So let me welcome. Okay, before I welcome, you can know more about the Jindal School of Art and Architecture now on DQ Edge under the college details. Jindal School of Architecture is listed. All right, so please go to the page, and you can also express your interest in the school, and you can also get more information by accessing that link. So it is on edge.dqlabs.in, colleges. Under colleges, you can choose the Jindal School of Art and Architecture. A very interesting, important announcement. So we are collaborating with Confederation of Indian Industry and organizing the Design Hackathon. It's a 2-day event finalized on 20th and 21st of November. If you have not participated yet, please do participate. The payment links and the information are given here. We will share this presentation with you so that you can access those links and register for it. Okay, so the advantage is you will be tagged with a design professor who would be guiding you on the design thinking and doing process, and you utilize that methodology and you create a solution against these 11 solution categories, right? And you'll be solving a problem worth solving in the right manner, right? So utilize this opportunity. So now I would like to welcome Azad Ali from Jindal School of Architecture to help us understand more about their school. Over to you, Azad.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Umesh.
You can screen share if you would like to.
Yes, absolutely. I would love to do that. This is what I wanted to ask. Yeah, great. So good morning, everyone, and good morning, very good morning on Sunday morning. So my name is Azad Ali. I'm the Director of Admission at Jindal School of Art and Architecture. For next 10 to 15 minutes, I'll take you to the world of innovative design that Jindal School of Art and Architecture has started in 2018. So Jindal Global University, basically known for the law school, which is India's #1 law school. But gradually, every year we launch one or two new schools. And this school has been introduced in 2018. Since then, we are constantly working on creating the absolute interdisciplinary learning in terms of the built environment. So the built environment, that means we're talking about the buildings and the spaces and the lifestyle and the community that the people need globally. So we started with the Bachelor of Architecture program. That's a 5-year Council of Architecture program. Then Built Environment Studies. We provide a specialization in architecture studies. This is a 4-year program for those who does not have a physics, chemistry, and math, but they still would like to become an architect. So they can join this Built Environment Studies program. And this offers a dual degree qualification with the University of Adelaide in Australia. And the University of Adelaide is approved by Council of Architecture. Their Bachelor's of Architecture Studies program offered in Australia for 4 years has been accepted by Council of Architecture in India to provide you the license. So whether you have physics, chemistry, or math, or you do not, but you will get the license in India to practice if you go for a dual degree program. Then we have a Bachelor of Design and Interior. So you can see what kind of program that we are offering, more relevant to the built environment. Then we have a digital environment. When we're talking about the digital environment, that means we're talking about website to app and app to game. So everything that you can think about digital, whether you in our country, we call it communication design. But actually, when we talk about digital environment, it's everything that covers your game, your website, UX, UI, and whatever you can think of is covered under a digital environment. And the last course that we offer at Jindal is Urban and Community. This more helps to understand and work as a designer in the urban and community sector. You can get more details by visiting our website and talking to our faculty members. You can visit our People's link and click on the faculty members link, email ID, and book their slot if you have any questions to talk to them. So the Jindal School of Art and Architecture works on 4 pillars of learning. So the most important part of Jindal is that a flexible and customized curriculum that we offer, which helps you to design your major, you design your minors, and as well as electives. How does this work and how does this help? Suppose you choose your major in BARC, that's your primary program. You can choose a minor in sustainability studies that works on a sustainable and environment studies. What are the career options you could have? A normal architecture student, when comes out of a college with a simple BARC qualification, you are in the queue of thousands of architects that are going to be placed somewhere here and there under some architect working for the construction industry. That's basically the entire academic fraternity teaches you to work, and because they are making you employable for construction and buildings industry. What exactly the industry is having for you is it's way beyond that you can think of. When we do not talk about the historical buildings, we do not talk about working as a building consultant or a design consultant. We do not talk about working as a strategic planner. You do not talk about working as a game designer. So if you love to play games, you must have seen the environment that you're roaming around in the game is all basically designed by the architects. The auditors who work on auditing the large scale buildings are basically architects. The people who work on the historical and palaces to maintain them, to maintain our culture, they are basically architects. So the multiple options at Jindal School of Art and Architecture you can get under the minor. The minor program carries 24 credits, which is again helps you to establish your masters in that particular industry, particular career. You choose BArch as a major, you have option to learn BBA, you have option to learn business studies, finance, accounts, economics, liberal arts, subjects in fine arts, subjects in, let's say, interior design, digital environment. You can also study legal studies as a minor program. Importantly, that you should know that this minor program is, we do not charge for this program. We give you as a minor qualification that basically the objective is to make you more employable, more self-sustainable in the industry. Because globally, if you see, the architects are earning much beyond any career option. But in India, the industry is not supporting. So you have to have more skilled qualification. So learning by making means that the kind of industry exposure that Jindal gives you, that we keep it on number 2. This means in a very first year of your BArch or the Bachelor of Design in any of this stream that we just introduced you, the first year is common. So the architecture studies and design students study together. And you learn the same thing that being taught in the as a physics, chemistry, math student, because you have to crack NATA or JEE to join Jindal, or you study crack Jindal Creative Aptitude Test as a humanities student. So you come on a similar platform. We teach you everything the way universities in abroad, whether you talk about Cornell or Oxford or Harvard, teaches in the foundation year. So we make you prepare for the industry from the very first year. So in the first year, after first semester, you go for a live project. And in the second year, after immediately third semester, you go for a first internship. So in the 5-year program, you go for a 4 internship. The last 5-month internship, which is made mandatory by the Council of Architecture, has been given by everybody in all these colleges. But at Jindal, we offer 4 internship in the 5-year program and 3 internship in the 4-year program. So these internships are available in India as well as abroad. So you have option to go for internship in Canada, Italy, US, London, Seoul, in South Korea, Istanbul, Hong Kong, and plenty of places in India. So it's not about working for any architect or interning under an architect. That's a typical career option that has been taught to you. But you have plenty of options available, whether you talk about Ernst & Young, working under some expert building auditor as an assistant, or understanding the nuances of how the buildings are audited in the companies like Ernst & Young, or working for the environment, the places like WWF, or working for a company like Herman Miller, world's #1 furniture making company. So all these places helps you to become a jack for all, but work for all as well. So you have multiple opportunities to go for a research internship in the universities like Magal University in Montreal, or IIT Delhi, or IIT Bangalore. So these are the places where we have collaborated for research internship, as well as the places, let's say, a few of our students are currently interning at IIT Delhi in the Road Transportation Research Center, where they are contributing a lot understanding the urban transportation system. The third most important part of Jindal's global learning is student exchange program. So Jindal has collaborated with more than 300 companies globally, where you will have the opportunity to go for a semester exchange, semester abroad, short-term study trips. You will have opportunity to go for extension program after your undergraduate program. We have collaborated in that manner, or you go for international research chances that we have discussed just now. So after completing the course, or maybe especially in the design program, not in the BIAG program. So BIAG program is managed by the Council of Architecture directly and have strict rules and regulation. In 2020, only Council of Architecture has approved a semester exchange abroad. So what exactly the international semester exchange means for? So semester exchange happened with more than 150 global universities. And the top universities are Oxford, University of California, University of Cornell, and Harvard. These are the top universities where our students go for semester exchange, and these semester exchanges are free of cost. You just need to pay the Indian fee, not the international fee. Only the living and traveling costs that need to be borne by you. The rest, everything, the university takes care. Then comes semester abroad. Semester abroad has a selection process that is 100% paid. You don't need to pay Indian fee, you need to pay the international fee. Short-term study trips are the duration of 15 to 60 days, sometimes 90 days as well. So these are the short-term study trips that are fully sponsored by some companies, or maybe you, if you get selected. Then international research chances that we have with the universities in Canada, London, Nottingham Trent University, University of Adelaide. And the extension program is, again, we have collaborated with the Nottingham Trent University, few design colleges in University of Arts in London, some colleges in one of the top interior design college in London, as well as University of Cincinnati in US. The most important and the fourth pillar of Jindal's interdisciplinary learning is our globally acclaimed faculty pool that comes from variety of the backgrounds, from architect to the community, to the social science, to the humanities, to the research and history as well. So 14% are international origin faculties at Jindal from 30 countries. They are living in the JGU campus, and we provide them accommodation and all the facilities one expatriate deserves too. 50% faculties at Jindal are from top 200 universities globally. And we at Jindal maintain 1:9 student and faculty ratio, which helps us to claim as one of the more focused, individually focused university, because we are bound to make it to 1:7 very soon by 2023. We are also a university institution of eminence by the Government of India, because out of 11 private institutions, Jindal is one of them. So at JGU, we have more than 1,000 faculties and students from 20 countries. So just quick. You can see the kind of faculty we have from top universities, whether you talk about Georgia Tech, Harvard, Cornell, Heidelberg in Germany. We talk about Oxford, we talk about Politecnico di Milano in Italy, or you talk about Utrecht University, CEPT, SPA, or plenty of universities globally that we have. And most of them are PhD in their education. To get admission into the BIAG, you should be qualified in NATA. So till 2021, it was just a pass. But hopefully we are going to see 50% cutoff again this year in 2022. But the qualifying marks this year was 17 NATA, and we made them eligible. The minimum cutoff at Jindal that we have is 95 this year. And hopefully this will increase next year, depends on the announcement by the Council of Architecture, and 90 percentile through JEE. If you have interest in getting into the Bachelor of Design program at Jindal, you need to fill our application form. The applications are now open, and apply for a Jindal Creative Aptitude Test, which is going to held in the February this next year. The test is home proctored online test that you can appear at home, and followed by the portfolio and the interview. You will get the sample paper immediately once the application form is submitted, because this year JCAT paper has been revised and made more difficult. So quickly, I would like to inform you the cost of the program. It costs 3 lakh rupees to complete your B Design program. It's a 4-year. The total fee for the 4-year is 12 lakh. That's a program fee, and 2.76 lakh is the hostel fee, because it's a 100% residential campus. And you can pay this fee semester-wise. Then you go for a BARC. BARC fee is basically 4 lakh annually. You may consider it as one of the premium fee that we are charging in the return kind of faculty members, the kind of interdisciplinary learning at Jindal you get. And the BA Built Environment program is charging you 3.5 lakh. And the fee that being charged by University of Adelaide will be separately when you register for a dual degree program for the license to get in India. You reach out to us at jsa.ggu to follow and interact with our students and the faculties. And on a daily basis, we keep conducting some events for the students and the lectures, hiring people from across the world. You can get in touch with these people. Thank you. Umesh.
Right. Thank you so much, Azad. That was quite brief and informative. So very profound lineup of professors you have, right?
Thank you so much. Yes.
Very interesting pedagogy as well. So thank you for enlightening us.
Absolutely.
And may I now request the guest speaker. Okay, so is Kiljae right? Is he ready? Mr. Kiljae?
Kiljae, you ready to go ahead now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Please.
You can now start. Over to you, Kiljae.
Okay, I'll just start the screen share. Hi, nice to meet you. My name is Kiljae. I'm teaching at the JGU JSAA, like Jindal School of Art and Architecture. Mostly I teaching computer technology for the architecture student and then design student. So, when you come to our school, then you will meet at the first class, must be mostly in case is me, because I'm teaching from the very basic software to advanced softwares in our schools. Okay, today I'm talking introduction. I have a lecture, this workshop about the BIM. I heard this is requested from the students. They want to know about the BIM, so I made a short lecture regarding the BIM. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay. Yes. Title is a BIM workshop, but don't worry about it. Yes. First, what is BIM? I think it's not the Q&A section, but I still want to ask, what's the BIM? So there's a lot of people talking about the BIM, this in the architecture field and design field, like interior designs or any kind of business area related to the architecture or civil engineering. They're talking about the BIM. So, but most of people think the BIM means building information modeling. So, kind of important is the part, is the center of the word, information. Okay, building modeling is existing from my age. I mean, I attended architecture school in 1995. It's the 20th century, right? On those days, we have 3D modeling. There's architecture we made by the 3D information. Not information, it's 3D modeling. not just a traditional 2D drawing. We already had those. But the BIM, the building information modeling, the words, coming very recently, it's about a decade, people recognize this language, this word, and they are using it in a lot of field. Yes. Why they talk about this is like, basically for the architecture people and construction, construction site and everywhere, this technology could change a lot because of this what they can do. Like I'm going to start from the aspect of the architect. Okay, and then yes, this is the building located in Dubai. The name is the Museum of the Future. Yeah, and you see the building has like a very form and very weird, right? It's not same as the most of building you can see around. But they can, this architect can draw anything, right? They draw the paper or using the 3D software to create any kind of shape they want. Actually, if you learn in 5 minutes, you can create those shapes, the total shape, not the inside. But the architecture is not about the drawing, right? Architecture is about, you need to build it. Even the interior design, you can draw anything. You can draw some fantasy drawing, but you need to make it real world, put it to a real world. If it's not the world for the virtual reality. So how they build in the real world. Can you see the close? Let's get closer. Can you see those buildings consist of a lot of panels, square panels, right? Of course, these square panels in the real world, when they made it, those are not flat. Those are not the square. Because everything is made in 3D shapes. So how they produce those panels? How they're going to feel that inside? Only architect can design this thing, but he's not the person who built this thing by himself. It has to be working with a lot of people, also a lot of companies who make these panels, slabs, walls. They're the kind of, they need to produce in some factory and bring it to here. Some, they're not using the technology what the architect construction company used before. Sometimes they're using the technology what the shipyard do or the airplane company do. So these are the buildings where they exist these days, not like old days. So how so BIM helps, BIM is the BIM tools, drawing tools helps make it clear. How is what I'm going to try to explain it from now on. Okay, used to be long time ago. It's still it's existing from long time ago, right? There's a company called Dassault in France. They made us jet. They're the company creating jets of also the famous Airbus. Dassault one part of the Airbus company that is creating a jumbo jet, right? They want to build a building, build this kind of the airplane, but it costs a lot of money, right? They're thinking about creating this kind of jet in a virtual reality, not real world, in a digital world, and they want to test everything. They design it, and then they want to see how it works, not just the shape. Like information in a jet, those kind of jet engine, and then every kind of the electric or the computerized thing. They want to check everything in a virtual world. It means like inside their computers. Then, if they work perfectly in a virtual it cannot be exactly saying a real world, but it can be a very closer. If the computer can mimicking the real world like 100%, then one day they can be, creating everything inside of the virtual reality or inside the computer, that after that, they only need to make it real. So they can save a lot of times because they don't need to build any every time. And also they can, they can estimate what's going to happen and then how much will be cost at the end of. So actually at the end, they could save a lot of time and the money for this jet. Yes. During that process, they're creating, for that purpose, they created some software. That software name called CATIA. They made a software to do those things. So they made this called software called CATIA to creating a jet. It's not just a design tool. It can have all kinds of information inside. Not just the building, the shape of the airplane. It has the information of the performance and how strong is the kind of the materials thing. Every information in this when they design this airplane. So it started from the jet for their own purpose, but after that, company like car manufacturing companies or the electric smartphone companies, they realize they can use in their field. Even think about the car company, automobile companies. They have their engines, right? They have their structures. They need to check how strong it is, and they can learn inside of the virtuality, and they find out what's wrong with it and what's the best design for the fast run. So they create this build. They starting using this software to make it everything in a virtual reality, to make it, basically it's to save time and money, right? But you can do it so far. You can test more than what if you need to make it in a layer. Before this software, every time they change the shape or design, they need to make it like a prototype and they need to check it. But now they can save a time, right? Yes. Same for the architecture building. So because before the 20th century, there's a CAD, which is very orthodox, like 2D CAD, but also there's 3D CAD can create a 3D shape. But architect can, wanna be they have their imagination, and there's so many drawings coming up. They wanna make this kind of freeform design the building, and they they wanna check everything. They wanna know how to save their time. They wanna check how it's going to be built, what kind of material they need to have. So they start using the CATIA on their building. Okay, before that, I show you some example. This is a building in South Korea designed by the Zaha Hadid, who is originate from the Iran. But she passed away like a couple of years ago, but she was one of the star architects in the world. So this is she made a lot of buildings, but this kind of freeform building, it was kind of, first step of these buildings. As you see, when you get closer, there's creating all the panels. They're using the CPR technology to create those panels for this building. So you can count every panel, every shape of the panels, and how the panels is holding by the structures. Of course, they also need to think of the interior space and then, also space. So everything they create, and also those, those kind of, the elements has to make kind of any kind of numbers they need. They create every information put into this software. So at the end, they can finalize their building. Before those ages, Jahati created, this is also the popular music like 80s, 1980. It's the same architect designed this building. It's for the, the fire station for the Vitra furniture company. This building was very sensational. Maybe you not feel that's not that special, but in that age, this building was so sensational. How they were thinking of how they built it, because the shape and the angle is not like a normal housing. But she also drew a lot of drawing to make in a real world in those days. So if they had this tool, now they can create this kind of shape. It's building located in Azerbaijan, this Baku, is National Art Gallery, not gallery, sorry, concert hall. This kind of shape, they can start. So, and then after that, she became famous, so much famous, not among the architects, among the normal people. Normal people means, like high school students, everyone. So, from that till now, I'm talking about the view of the aspect of the architect, or the designers, or the construction companies. Okay, so you think like architecture, this field is all about the architect and construction company, but actually that's not true. Actually, architects construct buildings. It's not just about us. There's a real estate company. There is the company developers company who try to build. Sometimes it could be a government. Sometimes it could be a company, and also it could be an individual too. Even if you need to build a house, right? So those people need to be in. They are the person who work in this field. Sometimes bank has a relate to this kind of work too, because they need to borrow the rental money, right? So there's so many business area related to this building business. Maybe I put the wrong title on it, but yes, and there. This is my house. It's a flat in front of our campus, Sonipat. So, see, my house has a very orthodox system. It has a wall, straight wall, right? And then it has doors, it has opening, it has a window, and there's electric things there, and then, it's very orthodox. Maybe it looks similar to your house. So, when the architect design building, this thing, it's not that hard. They need to use the pencil or any kind of pen on a paper to draw the wall and draw the doors on a 2D images. And when the construction company comes, they see the architecture drawing on 2D to make this building. So actually everything coming from the 2D information, everyone's brain, they're making 3D information to this 3D in their brain. So that's how they create. So it has a foundation, it's what the architect building consists of. Foundation, this work is no system, so it's not that interesting as my classroom, but foundation, walls, windows and doors, ceiling, slab, columns, furniture, any design elements, space filled with or above. That's the building. So a lot of people think BIM because it looks like making a 3D drawing, right? They think 3D drawing, but the BIM is not about that, because of what I explained you before. And CAD to BIM, because what people do mostly is like CAD is like a very working every orthodox, like a classical way to the new way, they still use CAD, which is computer-aided design. They convert into the BIM data. And it's not mean just 2D to 3D, because it comes with all the information related to that building or the civil work. It's all about the information. So what kind of information could be there? So this is a kind of the CAD system, and I try to say about the CAD and the 3D drawing. Those drawing on the right, I hope you can see it very well. This black part means the door and walls. Sometimes if you can see the thick wall, it could be your structural wall. It means it holds your building stand. And thin wall, it means that it could be an interior wall you can tear down. And there's a furniture information by the dots, right? Some part staircase. And those kind of information can make people understand about the space, and then how should they set up the walls, things. And then where the doors, where the windows. Of course, we need more information because it doesn't have information of the height. So they need the elevation for interiors, exteriors. That's kind of making so combined with the 2D information of the plan and elevation, architect or the construction people, they can imagine all the 3D information. And then after that, the 3D CAD come out, like the first year when you come to our school. If you come to our school, we are going to teach, you're going to study about SketchUp software. It's very basic architecture 3D software, can creating a 3D buildings. Of course, it can create the 2D drawings too. In this software, you can draw the things by the boxes, like a wall. Look like this wall has a continuously straight line, but actually it consists like a 3D box. One 3D box, two 3D box, three 3D box, and there's a empty hole between the wall, right? So you just need to making some kind of the void on a wall. That's the door. At the end, like some door company could come to your house and set it up the door over there. So hello? Hello? Yes. Please. Yes, 18 photos. Ask them to go to 18 photos. Okay. Thank you. Apologize. There's a nurse is coming to the house. So yes, where they went. So it says creating a shape of the room by the colors and textures, everything you can create a room. Not just the information on the 2D by the plan and elevation. Now you can see the building, how it look like, how the shape is, how the material used by the images. By the images, not by the information yet. So this is how they creating a 3D map drawing. Vertex, the point, right? Edge, which connects the points, and face, which has the square surface in its face. So those things can creating a 3D model. That's the very basic of the digital 3D modeling things. Of course, there's another way to create, but that's the very basic information of how you're creating a 3D model. So basically, that it could be a box, paper box. It could be some concrete box. That's only defined by the material colors image on that box. the face. That define the shape, and then people can see those box as the box, like a cardboard box or the concrete shaped field, kind of cute. But from the BIM, it could be changed. So this is called like a parametric design. So, but in here we call the information design modeling. So every information, those I say there's a concrete, it made by concrete, and how strong is it, and how it control. Those information will be put into that cube, not just the shape, not just the material, the looking. It has all the information inside. So think about you creating some kind of this water bottle here. You easily can create this shape on a 3D world, 3D software. But there's not just the shape, right? This is water, where they made it, and then what kind of amount of the water inside of this box, and the shape, and what's the structure of this cap, and which company made, and then how this water is consist of. There's a lot of information here, right? Where they all come, and where they. So in building a BIM modeling thing, in a BIM modeling, you need to have those information into this shape. So you can click the water and you can see how it consists of when they made it, this product. Those information is all inside of this 3D data. Of course, I didn't make that 3D data yet, but it's about the BIM. So in the 3D, okay, if you're thinking about the buildings, maybe if I could show you, go there, let me show you. Okay, luckily in front of my hotel room, oh, I cannot share my screen. I wish I can share my camera, but I couldn't. So what I try to say is this. Not just this water bottle, in a real world, real construction site, it's much more complicated, right? There's so many structure like beams, steel beams to hold the buildings stand, and construction with the reinforced concrete, like a steel frame with the concrete, can those information. Everything is very complicated, and those information all has to be there. How to frame the steel frame things, and sometimes it helps, automatically helps those kind of information in a software. So some helps. Sometimes architects need to learn or study or express more than traditional method. So all the shape is all the information. So virtually, you can say you virtually build a building inside of the computer. Same as you Dassault creating their jet inside of their computers. Same thing. So that's the concept of the BIM. If you go a little beyond this part, not just if you just stopping and thinking about the building, actually city is same thing. You can create a city using these informations. There's a way you can create a city in a single day or a couple of hours using the government informations, because a city is built on the law. You can create a city. There's a competition for that too. I'm sorry.
I go to 18, 1812. Not open the door. That's why first I go.
Yes.
But they don't know.
Apologize. I'm on a Dubai Expo right now, so I need to go back to hotel at the India tomorrow. So
Okay.
I need to do a COVID test, PCR test for the
There
flight.
are 2 PCRs, sir. Okay. Please fill your consent form by your mobile camera.
I'm
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't expect this situation, but please understand. Okay, so those information is there about the space. In a conventional architecture 2D drawing, there's an office, means that box is the office. Of course, there's box information coming with the walls and the floor information, but still, those information.
He's already done that. No, it's
Floors, and then the box, you create a box, but now it's BIM, you creating information of the room as so much information there. Okay, what kind of room is it, and the size of the room by the numbers, and then topology, the shape, right? Height information. So if you change the information of the height or volume size by the numeric numbers, you can easily change the size, and sometimes you affect the whole design of the building. And so the most of architecture PhD students these days need to learn a bunch of softwares, not just the AutoCAD, which you could use in a conventional architecture drawing. The SketchUp, those software you learn in a graph here in most of architecture school. But that they also need to learn that only the 3D software. You need to learn about the Revit, which is the very popular BIM software. And then ArchiCAD is another very famous architecture software too. Yes. So that in this case, these kind of drawing will be finished. Now, it's a very detailed drawing of the architecture building with the BIM data. Usually, conventional architecture drawing, they need to create these kind of drawing by one by their hands. But now you can drag and drop those information into the architecture drawing and just automatically generate these kind of data. So it could be easy. Some part is make you help to save your time. See, like this. This is cartoon wall system, but when you just need to draw those, just drag and drop the cartoon wall. Of course, you need to put some more information, but after that, those kind of detailed drawing comes with this architecture drawing. So it's not just the shape. You can those kind of information linked to the company who build those kind of elements and can create importing to your drawing, and then it's automatically generating those information. Then people can create, and that one of the part of this information modeling is the parametric design, right? In that case, you can create those kind of freeform design by the numbers. So one of the methods. And by the information, you can work with you have information. So usually it's not easy to meet up with so many teams or during the construction, but now you can communicate with the other by the digital world. Of course, it's on a construction. There's no perfect way to do it now, but I can say it's much better than before because you don't need to meet one by one because it's same as this classroom. We are talking on a distance, right? It makes possible by this way. So the BI, you can share the information, not just the shape. So you can save your time and you can merging into the one's data from the remote. So I told you about it, not just between the architect and then people in the construction site. This is about the lifestyle of the buildings. Okay, someone designed, it's architect to do, right? Before that, there's some kind of some people's, like a developers, they need to plan those projects, right? Or how many, what's the size of building and what kind of method they can use, attract people. Yeah, after that, architects start to design. And they checking the rules and everything, and then review it, how building consists, and make the simulation, like how the jets fly. You can analyze the building by the some moves, how much energy will be cost on this building, things. You can analyze and simulate the buildings. And rapid prototyping. You have a 3D information that you can make the 3D printing to make the, visualize the building on a real world. Rapid printing, you can easily say I try to say the 3D printing. And also you can make a virtual reality view for you can make some AR technology to make it, exist in your site. And then if you decide to define the site, you're going to think about cost estimation and quantities, scheduling. Scheduling means how long it's going to, what step. You need to schedule how your construction works done. And next one, crash detection. It's about pipeline works. If you have a chance to see the pipeline of your building, your housing, you may find it very complicated. If it's a single house, it's not a big deal, but it's considered about the apartments or the building. Those pipelines are very, it's not that easy to trace everything. But 3D information with the, those kind of information I talked about for the BIM, you can check and you can connect, trace where the type pipelines goes, and then not to making a crash each other. Also, after you finish up the building, now you can use those information into the maintenance. Because there's a control, if you think about the management office in your apartment, if you're living in an apartment, you can use those information to control their housings or the tenants to trace it. And there's something happen, you can trace back, and then you can check. Smart home is including this information. You can do most of stuff here. So after that is demolition. The end of if the life of building is done, then demolish that building, right? Those are all the things you can use. The information creating at the beginning. You can use as long as the building survives. Used to be, those information was different. Used to be, most of the building only has a paper drawing of the building. But people living in those buildings for long, those information is a change because they made an interior design, or people want to change their housing by their lifestyle, or it might be people. There's a lot of people that change the society changed, and then there's a people's favor change. It affects the building. So if survive for 50 years, sometimes 100 years, there's a lot of change made in the buildings. So if you make it visualizing, it's going to be like this. Okay, yeah, so I was talking about it a little too much. So let's go to Dubai building, Dubai. So it'll make a 3D printing building around here using BIM data. So now you can recognize, not just say, now you can recognize, the computer can recognize which is the wall, how strong is the building, and then where the windows be there, right? So now 3D printing work with the BIM data. Please wait for, give me 1 minute. Thanks.
Sorry, but
Sorry.
You passed through. Okay. No. Continue the video. Okay.
I skipped this part because lack of time. Okay, so you working with this one, and then that's what my favorite part of this kind of digital technology in architecture world. You can use, I use this my toy drone. It's not toy drone, but I use the drone to create this kind of BIM data, or this kind of shape is so you can use your smartphone to creating a 3D scan the 3D model, and then you can print out by yourself. All these things, people using the virtual goggle to play the games, right? But if it comes to architecture, you can use the information on a 3D or it says extended reality to share the information, and then in a remote sense, virtually they call them telepresence. You can virtually meet in the same space and then meet together. It could be an AR, VR, virtual reality, extended reality, augmented reality, any kind of shape. Okay, let's start about the I'm hoping I have a little bit more time. So we talk about the BIM, building information modeling, but most of you are not familiar with those softwares. Architecture is a little bit too hard, but I want to introduce you about this web service, Homestyler. I believe there's an announcement coming with this software about this regarding this software. This Homestyler used to be run by the company Autodesk, which is the company who dominates the architecture drawing softwares. And this one has the very, it's kind of basic BIM software. It has the information modeling and everything, but for the people, the normal people, not professional people. So you can link to the furnitures that you can, locate into your design, and you can online shopping. It's connected to online shopping, and you can see what's going to happen in an easy way, just on a website. Okay, let's try. Okay. So I hope everyone starts installing this software. This is, say Homestyler.com. If you log in by the Google account or the Facebook account, you can easily create your ID. And this is my private IDs. And here, if you come to this website first time, you can easily access to you must access, how to use kind of, tutorials web page come out. I already saw it. I hope you use. If you use this software, yeah, it looks like easy, right? It's not, sadly, it's a web browser version. It's not working on a iPad or tablet or your smartphone. There's a software, but similar to this, but actually very limited function comes with that software. Let's see what's going on. So basically, you can do a simple CAD, and you can creating a drawing. You can creating a very realistic 3D view like this, and you can walk around the buildings. You can creating a video. Yeah, most of this professional architecture software can do already. You can do with this software. Okay, very simple. Let's start.
Sorry, Kiljae.
Yes.
So we need to close the workshop and take some questions.
Okay.
Because it's 10:30 already.
Oh. Okay. So please try the software. Yes. Do you have any question about the BIM?
So Kiljae, you can stop sharing the screen and then let's talk.
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
Stop
Great.
sharing.
All right. So anybody has any questions? Any students or parents? So meanwhile, may I ask a question, Kiljae?
Yes.
Yeah. So what is the future scope for professionals considering BIM?
Perfect. Actually, this software, actually most of the school, architecture school, they teach this BIM. But like some country, like our country, my country, South Korea, it's like if you want to build a huge building, you must use this kind of software. You must have used this software. But I think India is like in a beginning point because there's that was the threshold. They keep the threshold, and then only a few country make it mandatory those software, this kind of software. But everyone believes this one can help everyone, not only the architect, not only the people from the construction side. It helps a lot of money. It helps save a lot of time. Also, it can make a transparency, the process of the building. Right now, I try to make it was how can I say that screen sharing, but it's not. Oh yeah.
No problem, you carry on. Yeah.
I'm not familiar with Zoom too much, so that's why. Yes. Am I answering correctly? Hello? Hello?
So Kiljae,
Yes.
can you just tell to the audience how are we using BIM in your lectures and in our curriculum?
Oh yes. In my classroom, so BIM, actually I use the BIM for the architecture designing tool because most of the things I feel is, there's a levels of this software, architecture drawing software. I want to try student experience as much as they could. I mean, there's a lot of use about this software, right? Not just the 3D software, just not drawing. I want them to try the 3D printing and combine with the drone mapping, which can like a 3D scanning using the drone or your smartphone. Combine with that and then like a remodeling, like about that virtually importing to your virtual computer screen, and then you make using those data to create your building. This is a kind of this is the method which building, remodeling the building. Like sometimes you need to change your original building to the new shape or the meeting to the recent, because the lifespan of the building is so long. You need to modify for the new use, right? Those kind of remodeling. You can use this kind of technology to apply. So also, but mostly I don't do deep. I just want to make the student experience more than going to deep. So maybe you want to go to deeper, maybe we can go up to the graduate school to learn about more, or there's another advanced computational skill class. So you can go to deeper than that. So yeah, it's more about our student choice. Yes.
Wonderful. Yeah, Ramesh, over to you. You have more questions? Students, parents have any questions related to the programs, school?
All right, Azad, I think my connection is not so stable, so I'm losing out you guys. All right.
No problem.
But thank you so much, Professor Kiljae, for giving us such a complex topic information in such a very small bit-sized information. I think there is a question for Azad from Stephen asking about what is the last date for admission and in the BDS digital environment course, is animation design included? So Azad, would you like to take the question?
Yeah, absolutely. So animation design, all UI and UX, game design, website, digital architecture, everything is included in the digital environment program. It's a kind of communication design program, but more wider. We cover a lot more that normally Indian colleges do not teach under the communication design. But the digital environment teaches you everything from website to UI, UX, game, and app, and everything that you can think, you may not think about. The last date, so there is no last date. So the entrance exam is scheduled on 18th of February. So you can fill the application form max to max by 15th of February on the afternoon, followed by the entrance exam. You will be, if you qualify into the first round of written test, that is aptitude test, a creative aptitude test, then we will invite you in the portfolio interview. If you do not qualify in the first round, you may not get a call for interview. If you qualify in the portfolio as well as in the interview, then we will offer you the admission that you need to pay. You will get 10 to 15 days to make the initial payment of rupees 1 lakh to book your admission. The fees is, the refund policy will be applicable as per the Government of India, that we follow the, we are a university, Grand Commission recognized university, so we follow the policies from there. I hope this helps.
Yes, sir, thank you.
So Stephen, your second question, let me again apprise you. The digital environment is Bachelor of Design, Digital Environment.
So that was not there in the website. I checked.
It will be there by tomorrow, hopefully.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. I think at towards the end of the session, we are getting more questions.
Yes. Kiljae, you there?
You have a question?
There is a Chaitanya want to ask you
Yes.
a question in the chat.
Okay. Stable or not? Yes, stable or not. So I talk about the the simulation, right? It's counter structure simulation too. Basic structure simulation is mostly used in they do an extra time to do the stable test, those kind of structure system testing. They just follow the loop. That's what the architecture mostly done before. But now they can make a simulation on the stability, I mean the structure system. They can analyze it, they can test it in a virtual reality. And then actually I can say it's much more effective than traditional method. Yes, you can do it. Worst case, you can check everything. Of course, you need to learn a little bit more about the simulation because those not just the easy way. You also need to embed it into that BIM information about this, much more about the structure system. Bending things, everything need to be there. But basically, yes, everything, you can do it. Of course, simulation is not the 100% sure with the reality. There's a possibility to make a difference. There's a difference between a reality or the virtual reality world. So I cannot say it's perfect, but yes.
All right. Okay. Yeah, are there any messages? All right, cool. So on the same Zoom link, we have another session starting at 11 o'clock. So we need to stop this session, unfortunately. But thank you so much, Kiljae, for this session and taking out time on a Sunday morning, being in a different country, on a work assignment, packing your things to come back to India. I think it's very difficult. And thank you so much for taking out time and helping our students and parents to enlighten about BIM. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It's good about
Thank you, students.
Yeah.
Thank you, parents, for taking.
Thank you,
out
Azad. Thank you so much for facilitating this session.
Wonderful, sir. My pleasure.
For your continuous cooperation.
Looking forward, sir. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
And And
Bye-bye.
thanks to all the students and parents who have made time to attend this session. I hope it was helpful and useful for you. Looking forward for your participation in more such Design University sessions. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.